Hey, welcome back. It's good to see you again, Miss Financial Literacy Corner. So today, I want to touch up on the fact to where China is building their own stablecoin yuan. Also, for the fact to where all of these different institutions and stuff are literally just waiting for the Clarity Act. Your banks and other stuff can't necessarily hold cryptos and stuff on their balance sheet until the Clarity Act. Also, with all the interoperability between these networks, when we're looking at what Canton's doing, when we see the partnerships with Ripple, what's going on with them, I mean, Hedera, Stellar, like they're all interconnected. So that's why I was saying, mind you, not financial advice, but a wise man will be diverse in a multitude of assets that is basically the institutional plumbing for the new financial system. I really can't stress this enough. Now, assets that I like to look into, just so that way you'll know where my institutional outlook and plumbing comes from, is some of the ones that I always love to talk about, which is XRP, which Ripple is the one that actually built the framework for banks and other institutions, excluding Metallicus, to work with. Like, this is all in their documentation, this paperwork, whole nine. So Ripple is going to be integrated. That's the reason why. Remember, Ripple has a Fed charter. Ripple is a fucking bank. Excuse me for saying it like that, but Ripple is a bank. So for you to at least have some of that asset, which is XRP, which means you are in the institutional plumbing. Also, one of the other ones that I absolutely love is Hedera, because Hedera is also built for institutional grade. They're in the plumbing and they're in the interoperability with all the institutions as well too, especially like with Red Swan, which is dealing with your real estate. And so you have tokenized real estate on the Hedera chain via with Red Swan. And if you were to go and take a look at the price of Hedera right now as we speak, and there's tokenized assets on Hedera, mind you, places where you are able to go and look this information up is on any exchange. You can go on Coinbase, you can go on Kraken, Uphold, you can even do a Google search for the prices of those. The other one is Stellar, because remember the other day I was talking about Stellar in regards to how Wisdom Tree is utilizing Stellar blockchain for tokenized gold, and you actually own said gold, but it's just going to be on the Stellar chain. You can redeem it at any point in time. And then of course there's the Almeti Zbeck, which is another network that I actually like, because Zbeck is dealing with payroll. Type in Zbeck and payroll to either your AI or to your browser. Therefore, you can read and get that fundamental information as to what I'm providing you, which is no joke. So if Zbeck is with payroll, wouldn't you also want to get into that institutional plumbing so that way you have a say-so in regards to payroll? Because Zbeck is a governance token, and those that hold governance token holds a say-so over what goes on in the network. Also, Zbeck is a part of Solana. You know, Solana's doing a bunch of things as well too. There was also this thing the other day, mind you, to where Solana had tweeted out to Ripple in regards to emojis and a couple of other things as well. They have signed non-disclosure agreements. So if they're signing non-disclosure agreements, but they're giving hints out into the network, and mind you, like I said, if Zbeck is payroll, Ripple is cross-border payments, remittances, and a likeness of it, put two and two together. Now, also, there's Tron, which is another asset that I like as well too. Now, like I said, I have to say this again for YouTube and everything else, because I have not fully got my certification to be a financial advisor, so this is not financial advice. But like I said, it's just so that way you can have some literacy as to who's doing what and where. But yeah, Tron TRX is another one of mine that happens to be my favorite too. Why, do you ask? Well, for one, USDT is heavily on Tron's network, for one thing. For two, USDT is the number one trading pair for Bitcoin. For three, what's going on over there in a certain strait with the H, they're not asking for dollars, they're asking for Tron, of which they've been using for a very long time in order to bypass certain things and other stuff like that. That's just another one that I like too. I like Polygon, especially Canton Coin. I will be doing more deep dives on Canton Coin here soon, so that way you could be a part of that institutional grade aspect as well too. And I cannot stress this enough. This is probably going to be the last time that you will be able to get into these assets at the price range of where they are. Because mind you, once there is full-blown institutional adoption for these assets of what they are gathering on the back end to implement this new financial system, which is already here. We're already in the new financial system. Stuff is happening right before your eyes. It's just up to you if you want to pay attention or not. It's up to you if you want to be proactive or not. It's up to you if you want to be like, you know what, let me go ahead and dollar cost average and let me get in on this stuff now. I mean, think about it. Just the other day, I was telling y'all to where your stable coins are backed by the FDIC. The SEC is looking at regular payments to be done with stable coins to where that stuff is tax-free, depending on what it is. So if they're doing all this right now in front of your face, now mind you, not everybody is supposed to get in where they fit in. Not everybody is going to think logically and calculate from a financial standpoint. Let me get in here now because this is a brand new asset class. This is something to where I can get into really before the institutions get into it and price me out. This is basically your .com era 2.0. So for all those people beforehand that said, I wish I shoulda, coulda, woulda gotten into, Google, Tesla, this and that. Up to you if you want to or not. I know where me and a couple of my fellows are doing, so that way we can get into these institutional rails, and so that way we can be set. Because even though jobs and stuff might be taking a hit, there's things going on here and there. Guess what the number one thing is that's moving with no issues? That marketplace. That marketplace is always going to be moving. So, like I said, not financial advice, but just going over with you guys once again that all of these networks are networking with one another for interoperability. There's not going to be one mega chain, but they're all going to work together. So if you have a diversified portfolio in these various different blue chip assets, or these various different commodities that the SEC had stated the other day, in which, just to remind you, a couple of these new digital commodities, XRP, XLM, HBAR, they said Nano, Cardano, even certain other coins are on there as well too, but those are the main ones besides Bitcoin and Ethereum. Really cannot stress that enough. And then the global activity of what's going on too. I mean, Korea has got their hackathon going on. Singapore is making excellent moves. Well, especially over there in Asia, they're really doing it big. I got to give big ups to them in Asia. Even when you got the Philippine Blockchain Council, they're making their moves and other stuff like that. Like I said, over there in Singapore with Ripple alone, they're making moves. I mean, shoot, you even got Doppler Finance over there in Singapore right now, which is utilizing different methods for you to be able to gain with your XRP and your RLUSD. And that's on Doppler.finance. I mean, even Thailand is making some strides and some moves in regards to cryptocurrency and their adaptation. Because remember, they have pilot programs for their tourists and stuff to go over there, so that way you can utilize your cryptocurrency, which will easily transfer over there into Thai baht. Same thing with the Philippines peso. Same thing over there in Colombia, Venezuela, and a couple of other places. Like, all of this framework is happening. Especially over there in Brazil, when you have the Brazilian real that's been tokenized on the XRP ledger system already as we speak. Then you got RLUSD, which is Ripple Labs United States dollar, which is actually backed 1-to-1 with the US dollar and with treasuries and commodities. Because remember, Ripple is a bank. They're a bank. And Ripple is all over the globe, especially over there in EU as well too. And then, like I said earlier, you got Circle getting in with China to create the Chinese stable coin with the yuan. Now there's about to be a stable coins race. You see what's happening right here in front of your eyes. So like I said, not financial advice to y'all, just making you literate to what's going on around you in this financial system. And you can easily obtain these assets on any exchange of your choice, whether it's Gemini, Uphold, Crypto.com, Kraken, Coinbase. Those are just to name a few of the exchanges that are mainly over here in the United States. If you're outside of the United States, I mean, shoot, you got eToro. You got BitGo. You got plenty of other ones too. So that way you're able to get into these assets and look. And then I'm going to tell you this number one thing too. Do your research. Besides what I'm telling you and what I'm presenting you, and when I do read from the official forums and documentations of it, because from a developer standpoint, because I am a developer as well, so I must read the white papers, the tokenomics, and understand the ins and outs of the network, its utilization features, and what the adaptation is going to be later on with the interoperability with other networks. That way I know exactly what I'm investing in, and then I can build on top of it. But do yourself this due diligence to all my brothers out there. And if there's to the women that do happen to listen to me, I do appreciate it. You take note too, but most definitely to my brothers of substance and of value that is looking to make a way for themselves. Invest. Get yourself in alignment with what is financially going on now. I know we have a bunch of other stuff of what might have us distracted. But as a man, the first and foremost thing of what you must focus on, regardless of anything else, is your finances. And if you are not investing within this new financial class early, to adopt early, before the institutions start flooding the trillions of dollars in, because they're expecting over 125 trillion to be flooded into the market by 2030. Do you not want a piece of that pie? Seriously. And all you got to do is dollar cost average and put your money in. Man, you playing. You playing. Like, you are absolutely playing with yourself if you do not. But hey, not financial advice. Just making you literate as to what's going on. Thank you for watching.